So this would be the night before Thanksgiving. You're going to want to make the mac and cheese. So I obviously boiled the water. I am using Cavatappi because it's what I had, and I actually kind of like mac and cheese made with it. Some people prefer elbows or the bigger elbows. I personally prefer, if I'm going to do elbows, I want like the thicker elbows. So it says on here, 7 minutes is al dente, but I don't want to fully cook it. I want to leave it firmer for the sauce. So I'm only going to cook it for 4 minutes. I am going to get out a measuring cup because I'm going to want to reserve some of this pasta water in case I need it for later. I'm going to just reach in, grab, set that aside to make a mess on my stove. So it occurred to me I should probably show you, if you are going to use brie, I mean, you could leave the, I don't remember what this thing is called, the rind or whatever, on, but I really can't stand it. I don't like the texture, I don't like the flavor, and if you like it, I'm sorry, go ahead, leave it on, I don't care. But I do not. So I just, in order to get it off, I found the easiest way. In a situation, like, obviously if you're cooking it, I will, you know, bake it and just eat the cheese out from the rind. But I have found that I scrape it with a steak knife, because then you can get in all these little crevices as well and get it out where it's stuck there, and then just go around the edge as well. Now obviously you're probably wondering, why would choose brie? It's such an expensive cheese, right? But it was $3.15 on clearance, so I decided that I would get that. You obviously don't have to. If you got, I spent like $6.30 on brie and $2 on cheddar. You could obviously get a mix of cheddars and Swisses and such, and then it's going to be, excuse me, it's going to be a lot cheaper. Okay, so now it's time to make the sauce for the mac and cheese. Let's eat. I'm going to go ahead and melt a stick of butter. What I have ready here is I have a 1/3 cup of flour, 3 cups of milk, a little more than 3 cups of milk, about like 3.5-ish cups of milk, maybe 4, a stick of butter, 1.5 pounds, a little over 1.5 pounds cheese, and then I'll measure out just under a cup of cream. Okay, the butter is melted. I'm going to add in the flour a little bit at a time. The purpose of the roux is to thicken the sauce, because, well, obviously cheese is going to be thick and creamy. The cream and the milk will need to be thickened. I feel like I might need to add a little more flour. I think I may have been off and not paid close enough attention to my measurements, because this is very buttery and not very okay. Let's see if I can do this. The one convenient thing about a teeny tiny kitchen is that everything pretty much is within reach. I really don't want to stop stirring this. Now it feels like it's starting to just want to slightly cook the flour. Probably should have uncapped the milk, but it's okay. Okay, now I can feel it starting to thicken. I don't know if you can see it, probably can on camera, but like if you accidentally pour the milk too fast like I did, it'll be super smooth, super quick. But then you have to wait for it to like thicken back up, which is fine. You can kind of see it starting to thicken there. But I kind of want to get this milk thicker before I add the cream. Okay, it's close to where I want it. I'm going to be much slower with the cream because I don't want to screw it up any more than I already have. And yes, I know you're supposed to shred it, but I did not have the patience to shred brie. I didn't have the patience to shred the white cheddar, and that's, you know. Oh my gosh, this is so thick. I may actually end up having to add some of the pasta water at this point. Because I still have a bunch of cheese that has to go in and melt. But we'll see. It may be okay. But that's why you reserve the pasta water, because like it takes nothing to reserve it. And then if you need it, you can quickly and easily add it. This smells absolutely amazing, by the way. And I think I'm going to try some of the cheese sauce just because I'm really curious as to how it tastes. If you do taste test it, always remember to get a different spoon. That spoon is no longer good. Don't put it with your other stuff. Oh, that is really good. It is so incredibly creamy, and I can't even begin to explain how absolutely fabulous this sauce is. So, I have the pasta over here. Forgot to tell you, I did put some olive oil on the pasta so it wouldn't stick when I poured it in. And then this is just going to be coating the pasta. And the pasta will start to absorb all of this. It'll have all night to absorb this. So I'm super excited. But oh my god, that cheese sauce is amazing. If you have the money to spend on brie, or you see brie discounted, I highly recommend the brie and extra sharp cheddar combination. So there it is, and then I'll just put its normal lid on it and stick it in the, not the oven, the refrigerator. Then I will take it out tomorrow and put a crumb top thingamabobber on it, I can't think of the word, and pop it in the oven and it'll be ready. But you can see, I mean, look at that. That is going to be stinking amazing. Okay, so we had the mac and cheese sit overnight in the fridge. It now looks like this. So it's cold and kind of solid, but that is okay. At this point, you have a choice. You can either choose to add breadcrumbs or not. I'm going to melting a couple of tablespoons of butter. And then I am going to mix panko, Parmesan. So because I tend to do things by, feel, look, texture, I am going to simply dump kind of to get a idea, but typically it's like a cup to a cup and a half of the breadcrumbs, and then quarter to a half cup of the Parmesan cheese, and then spices to flavor. Alternatively, you can, if you're all fancy, you can mix the spices in with the dry ingredients and then pour the butter on top. But I decided not to do that today because that's not how I felt like cooking today. And honestly, if you are taking on Thanksgiving dinner, something as big as Thanksgiving dinner, I really authentically hope that this is not a new cooking experience for you, because I feel like it's a bigger meal to do, and it's not where you want to start fresh out the gate. You kind of want some experience and to have cooked some stuff before you do a huge holiday meal. Like maybe participate in some potlucks, cook some meals for your family. If this is just a meal for your family, then you also can adjust based on their particular preferences. I mean, if it's not a meal for your family, if it's a meal for a big group, you can also still adjust for their particular preferences. So this is set. I'm going to put this in the oven. Okay, so I ended up, after the first 15 minutes, I put aluminum on the top. What I probably should have done, if I'd been thinking, is, let it warm up in the oven, and then I may have actually cooked it longer than needed, because then I was checking it with the thermometer, and it kept saying it's like 111 degrees, and I think it's just that the thermometer broke, because it said 111 degrees when I ran it underwater, when I put it in the freezer, when I put it in, so ended up being in the oven for about an hour. What I would do in the pre-cook method, I was going off of an old recipe that I made years ago. It's when I lived in Florida, so probably 12-ish years ago. And I had written it down thinking it wouldn't be a big deal. I wouldn't need it again. I would just remember, because we always think we're going to remember. So, I don't know if I warmed it in the oven. I don't know if it was just different because it was in Florida. I don't know if it's because I keep turning my fridge so that it's not so cold, but it keeps on freezing things. So, I don't know. But I'll turn it so you can see, and then I'll put it on a plate and dish it up so you can see. Okay, so let's switch this. Let's move this over so that you can see me scooping. My kid has been looking forward to this all night, and he thinks it's going to be the best meal he has eaten all year. He tasted the sauce and he looked at everything. So this is kind of what it looks like all scooped up. Yeah, it is really good. I feel like the crumb topping adds a little bit of a texture, but you could also leave it off safely. It really kind of depends on your family's personal preference. The cream sauce, I think, the cheesy cream sauce is definitely where this shines. Use cheeses that your family likes. I happen to love brie. It's probably my favorite cheese. So when I saw it on sale, it seemed like the logical choice. But if your family doesn't like brie, or if you have to modify with more affordable cheeses, obviously feel free to do that. And then I will try and remember to leave hints in the description for the different things that you can do to make this more affordable. Anyways, again, my name's Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. And right now, I am making a series on how you can have an affordable Thanksgiving dinner without things like boxed mac and cheese and stovetop stuffing, because I really feel like Walmart and Aldi's Thanksgiving dinners are really kind of sad. Like, they're not a great deal, you know, and they're just not good. Anyways, again, my name's Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow.